The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another episode of HBCU Hour. It's your boy Pooh Bell. Got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good, my boy?
What's happening with you, dog?
Nothing much, man. I was all up in the camera, man. I have my face right there. You see all of my nose. Anyway, man. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Can you hear my background? Can you hear Dylan?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, but for some reason he's playing Christmas music, and not just Christmas music. He got Mariah Carey blasting. I guess he's trying to send a message, tell me what he wants for Christmas, but
yeah,
he ain't getting it. Okay. Man, let's go. We got, good little, a few topics to talk about tonight. Big things. Talk about the NFL. A few changes and stuff, some awards and stuff. I say awards, opportunities. Several people have gained several opportunities. So, but man, we can go ahead and get started, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Want to say, as always, thank you for watching. You've been anywhere in the world, you're here with us. We appreciate it. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share. P.S. No super chats open. You know what I'm saying? Hook us up. Help us get to where we want to go next show. SIAC, MEAC.
MEAC for sure.
MEAC. We need to get to the MEAC.
Yeah. For sure. Definitely the MEAC.
All right. Man, let me go ahead, cue this up. Give a sponsor. Shout out to our sponsors over at betonline.ag. We'll be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey, so we're back. Man, Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame inductions were Saturday. Ken Riley, we knew this was coming. We had talked about this story before. But Ken Riley, man, hold on, man, I got to adjust this. Ken Riley, finally has been enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's been a long, I guess you say, arduous journey.
Pulling
40 years.
Dictionary words tonight, huh? Them
Yeah.
SAT words.
Yeah, man, I had to, man. Kids gonna start school back, but definitely, man. I ain't gonna say 40 years too late, but
I mean, it was long overdue, but at the same time, you kind of just appreciate the fact that he got his recognition. I think that it's not necessarily when you make it, it's the fact that you do make it. I know a lot of people put emphasis or they put a lot on the fact of whether or not you first ballot or what ballot you get on, and when how long it takes you to get in the Hall of Fame. Whenever I think we just need to take a step back and realize that there's not too many people who actually get to make it to Canton, and the fact that he's one of the few people with their bust in the Hall of Fame. I don't think we need to harp too much on how long it took him to get there, as much as just appreciate his legacy and the fact that he was able to be one of the few who was able to make it to the Hall of Fame. Man, that's like Miss Nigga said, if you get in, it's a blessing. It doesn't really matter how long it takes you to get in. You
I hate when that happens. But shout out Miss Nikki, cousin Nikki. Happy belated birthday as well. But yeah, man. I know his family kind of spoke out on it about how he was disappointed.
Mhm.
And kind of was waiting, and then he passes, and I think the NFL, he deserved this. I don't think this was let's put him in now that he's gone. I think it was deservedly so. He should have been in there. Yeah, so
Yeah, and I will say, of course, you would have rather have had it to where he was still here with us and he was able to go up and give his speech. That's always preferably how it goes, but unfortunately, sometimes that's not the way it happens. And
right.
when it doesn't happen that way, I don't think it takes away any less. I don't think it takes anything away from what he accomplished and the fact that he was still able to make it there.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. But glad to see that he is in there. See all the love showed towards him. FAMU has definitely, been on a high with this one. I saw
Deservedly so.
Coach Simmons talked about this one as well. Talked about Ken Riley getting in. If I'm not mistaken, the field has also been named after him at Bragg Stadium. So he's definitely getting his just due. Posthumously. So I'm saying, glad for that. But the next generation is upon us, especially for HBCU players trying to do their thing. And at the actual game, the Hall of Fame game, Alcorns, them big bad Braves had Claudin. I can't believe this thing changed. Shirellis. This thing changed to Cheryl. But
Yeah, he was making some plays out there.
yes, sir. If I'm not mistaken, I think last count was 4 solo tackles.
Yep.
So, well, yeah,
And
he
I mean,
definitely.
not just for so like he was shedding blocks. He was making plays that when you go back and watch film, they're gonna stand out. It's not just routine
Right.
everyday run of the mill type solo tackles. He was making plays out there.
Yeah.
He definitely caught the eye of a lot of viewers, and so I know the coaches liked what they saw in him as well, and I think he boosted his stock up a little bit and his odds of making the roster kind of took a favorable turn after that game.
Yeah. I love seeing this. These guys that'll come in and have to come in the undrafted free agency route. And then when they come in, they shine. Even if they make it to the practice squad, then they get a chance to touch the field and they make some noise. I.e. James Houston last year, who in half the games outshined the number one
overall pick.
Was the number 2 overall pick, something like that.
Number 3, something like that. Yeah, he was up there.
Yeah. So and ironically, wasn't Aiden Hutchinson the number 1 pick? I can't remember if he was the number 1 pick last year or not.
But he wasn't number 1. He was number 2 because Walker was number 1.
There you go. But arguably, what I'm saying, he came in and being on the same team, and you can complement each other very well. That makes saying dangerous. So I do think the Lions will make some noise. But that does bring up something else I want to think about and talk about.
Okay.
What players do you think have the best shots to stick on a roster? Not necessarily, just make the 53, but to stick on a roster and can, they'll if I think they make the roster practice squad, they'll eventually hit the field. But who are some players you got?
I think Jadakiss because of in Green Bay, because they have a young receiving core, and I don't think they have anybody outside of the top two who really have established themselves on that team as being can't cut guys. Romeo Dobbs and Watson are the only two I think are really solidified as being on that team. So I think he could beat somebody out of a job on the lower end of that roster in that receiving room. Mark Evans with the injury to Trey Turner.
Yeah.
I think that helps his case too. I think right now he's probably the third on the depth chart at guard, and the Saints tend to carry a lot of offensive linemen because some of the things they like to do offensively with the 6 offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that injury definitely opened up a spot for him as well. Them the first two that come to mind whenever you say make the roster. Practice squad, I think there's a handful of guys who can make that, but the 53, them the first two that come to mind for me.
Okay. Aubrey Miller in Miami.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Aubrey Miller in Miami. Who's the guy at Xavier Smith with the Rams, especially with Cooper Kupp going down?
He back though, ain't he?
Is he back? I thought I saw they were saying down for a while. But Cooper, well, still with the luck they've had at wide receiver. Bowden with the Patriots. I think those are some names that instantly jump. Oh, Isaiah Land. I'm hearing good things with him.
Yeah, I think he makes the roster for sure.
Yeah. So those just a few names that jump out. The guy who I would have said, but I think he got hurt. He's least on the IR right now. Is the running back from Morgan State that's at Pittsburgh. I can't think of his name. Golly, he's on injury reserve. Golly.
There was a USFL signing too today.
Okay.
Well, not today, but recently. Jordan Lewis from Southern got picked up by the New Jersey Generals.
That's big.
So I know we talking NFL right now, but another
that's still
another pro contract going to an HBCU player, giving him a shot to continue his playing career at the professional level.
Okay, man, I gotta find his name because it's gonna bother me. He's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was here it is.
Alfonso Graham.
That's it, Alfonso Graham. Yeah, he Oh, okay. So he cleared he cleared waivers and they placed him on the he was cut, cleared waivers, and they placed him on the IR list. So yeah, they let him go with the injury.
Saw something that they like to bring him back after they
they let him go with an injury designation. But after he cleared waivers, like I said, he'll return back to the injury reserve list. So yeah, out with a torn labrum. So yeah. I think he from what I was hearing and everything that they were saying, he was going to definitely make that roster.
Yeah, probably so. They kind of thin at the running back position. They could use somebody like that with his explosiveness behind Najee.
Yeah. Man, before we get there though, man, I do want to talk about this year, 2023. We are, what's today? Today is the 7th. We are 19 days away from the first game, which is South Carolina State versus Jackson State. And the head man, the man who will be I say head man, wrong phrase. The signal caller for Sacramento. God, I'm all off.
You all right, my boy?
South Carolina State. I'm tired. Just been a long one. But South Carolina State, Corey Fields, man. a lot of people have, say after the performance of last year, a lot of people have written him off. They got him kind of down, even in rankings and just the MEAC. But he is a national championship winning quarterback, and Buddy Pugh has already said he thinks he has a breakout season. He's going to step back. I think he's spoiled for a breakout year, and I think game one is going to be
coming out party for him. Well, not for the season. I say that anytime you got a quarterback who's won a championship, who's had a down year, he still has that championship pedigree. He still knows what it takes to, to play at that high level and to win at that high level. So I'm not gonna count anybody out who's won at the highest level, who's been to that mountaintop. Yeah, he might have had a down year last year. The team might not have played up to expectations last year, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that the talent is gone or that they're not capable of doing what they did the season before last. So I'm kind of with you. The fact that Buddy Pugh is singing his praises the way he is lets me know that he's seen something that he likes and that probably poised for a good year for Corey Fields this upcoming season. And you know what? He's licking his chops to play that Jackson State team that he already beat to win that championship, and it's the first game of the year. So you already know he's gonna have a little extra chip on the shoulder to silence some of these doubters a little bit.
Yes, big time. It's been a lot. Like I said, a lot of people have, written him off. Have said he's not going to be that good. And the first thing they say, look at last year, he fell off. But when we talked with Kobe Orr from Blitz City, he talked about how he's hearing good things about Fields and how Fields looks like he's going to have a breakout season. What up, G? Our man G from Swag and the Food say hashtag beat J State. But yeah, man, I think that game is gonna be a breakout. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Also, with that game, looking forward to seeing.
I mean, you gotta look at the fact that he's gonna be playing defense that's still losing players as of last week, this week. Right. You know what I mean? So
right.
I'm not trying to make fun of that situation, but what does that defense look like? I mean, we're 19 days away. You less than 3 weeks away from your first game, and you still got players who enter in the portal. So what kind of cohesiveness, what kind of chemistry does that defense have? What kind of depth does that defense have? And this early to the season to have that kind of roster turmoil isn't a good sign for your team, especially whenever you're going up against somebody that's motivated and a team that's as motivated as South Carolina State and Corey Fields.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm just looking forward to it. I hadn't decided if I want to even try to go to that. No, I ain't gonna be here to go to that game. I ain't gonna be here. My bad.
Speaking of quarterbacks, though.
Yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks, it's some quarterbacks emerging.
Are some quarterbacks emerging
as the QB1.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold my thoughts till I see an announcement being made as them being the starter.
Yeah. And the reason I say that, Southern and Jackson State. At Southern, Dooley is starting to give a lot more praise to Harold Blood, but he also said that Harold Blood, that the competition is hot and heavy and will go through the season. But he's starting to give a lot of praise to what he's seeing out of Harold Blood. A lot of people have high expectations, and they think that it's in the blood.
I mean, that one I'm not really as concerned about. I kind of think that's their guy. I think it'll take something drastic for him to not be their guy this season.
Right.
But I'm a little more confident in that situation than I am in the other one that you about
Jackson State.
Yeah.
So Jackson State.
I have no idea what to expect from that quarterback.
Jason Brown. It's starting to. I'm not gonna say separate himself, but he's starting to get more. He was receiving more and more, receiving more and more praise. I'm sorry, not praise. I'm sorry. Playing time in the scrimmage game. He was getting more snaps. I don't know if that was just situational for scrimmage game 1, but
I gotta see it. I need to see against South Carolina State. I need to see them roll somebody out on the center, and I need to see that person play majority of the snaps. Not some of this. Oh, he's our guy, but then we see what Grambling did last year and rotate multiple quarterbacks throughout the game. I believe that they got that guy whenever they show me they got that guy.
let me ask this. We said that about Southern and Jackson State. Things are real quiet over in your neck of the woods.
They got their quarterback.
So it's Miles, or is it somebody else?
They
you
got
can't
their
say.
quarterback.
Okay. All right. I mean, consensus is, that it's gonna be Miles Crowley.
I mean, I haven't heard otherwise.
Gotcha.
But I will say that I think that you still see Calvez just because of the dynamic playmaker he is with the ball in his hands.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we'll be able to see a lot of these teams, a lot of these games. The SWAC announces their ESPN football schedule, and it's a buttload of games on here. There are, again, several games that'll be played on ESPN Plus. But you've got a couple games like the game we just mentioned, South Carolina State, Jackson State, August 26th, be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. The Labor Day Classic, Southern and Alabama State, will be on ESPN Plus on the 2nd. Prairie View versus Texas Southern will be on ESPN Plus on September 2nd. Jackson State versus FAMU will be on ESPN at 3 o'clock on September 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah. On September 9th, you got Jackson State at Southern. That's on ESPN Plus. On the 16th, you got Florida Memorial at Grambling. That's on ESPN Plus. Also on the 16th, you got Alabama A&M at Southern on ESPN Plus. On September 21st, we got UAPB at A&M. That's going to be on ESPNU. I think if I'm not mistaken, that's a Thursday game. Yeah. Then you got on September 23rd, you got Bethune at Jackson State. That's on ESPN Plus. You also have Alabama State at FAMU on ESPN Plus. On September 30th, you got Graham at Prairie View on ESPN Plus.
Classic.
Yeah. On October 7th, you got 3 games that have, as far as what ESPN platform they're going to be on, it hasn't been determined yet. But you got Graham at Alcorn, A&M at Jackson State, and FAMU at Southern. All 3 of those, as far as, like I said, what platform they're going to be on has not been determined. That lets me think that we might see some ESPNU, ESPN2 for some of these games, depending on, I guess, ranking
and all that. Yeah.
On the 14th, you got Alabama State at Jackson State, which is also Jackson State homecoming, if I'm not mistaken. You got A&M at Grambling on October 4th. Both of those games are at ESPN Plus. On the 21st, you got Jackson State at Valley on ESPN Plus. Is that an upset? Do we see Valley make a up? Okay.
You're not finna make me say nothing on the show.
Oh man, Coach Wade said they go. I put it like this. They may not win, but they damn sure gonna compete. I believe
that's gonna be the case for everybody that they play this year, though. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really gonna get blown out in any.
Valley is not gonna be a pushover like people have assumed in the past. No. Also on the 21st, FAMU at Texas Southern on ESPN Plus. On the 28th, you got Jackson State at UAPB. That's to be determined. You also got Magic City Classic will be on ESPN Plus. And then also Prairie View at FAMU. That one's to be determined. On November 2nd, you got Valley at Bethune on ESPNU, Thursday night game. On November 4th, you got FAMU at A&M. That might be a dangerous
game.
That might be a dangerous game for FAMU. Coming to
Norman. It depends on what quarterback show up for Alabama's
A&M.
Yeah,
I might have to be at that game. That was on ESPN Plus. Southern at Alcorn on ESPN Plus, and Texas Southern at Jackson State on ESPN Plus. On the 10th, you've got Grambling at UAPB on ESPNU. On the 11th, you've got Alcorn at Texas Southern and Prairie View at Southern on ESPN Plus. On the 18th, you've got Alabama State at Prairie View, Alcorn at Jackson State, both of those on ESPN Plus. And then you've got Bethune versus FAMU to be determined.
That need to be on ESPNU or something.
Then you got the Turkey Day Classic, Tuskegee at Alabama State on ESPN Plus. The SWAC championship game will be on ESPN2 on December 2nd, and then the Cricket Celebration Bowl will be on ABC. So we need to do we might have to go through because and that's I do want to say that's just the games that are on ESPN. There are also going to be some games, of course, on HBCU Go. There'll be some games that'll show up on in different places, different streaming platforms. I don't know how FAMU, their Rattler channel, streaming channel, I don't know if they'll be showing games this season or not, but we're gonna have to go through and do a ranking of
I ain't making no more lists.
Do a list of games, saying preseason hype games to watch.
I ain't making no list.
I'm making. We're gonna make a list.
Your name more than that mine.
It don't matter, nigga. It don't matter.
No, don't put our name on this. This is your list.
Yeah. Don't be scared.
Nah, I ain't scared.
Do like
I'm gonna make the list and then turn my notifications off.
That's how you gotta do it, man. I'm gonna do like what Jay Walker told us. He said it's my list. My list. You don't like it, make your own.
Straight up.
But
Doc, what's up, Doc?
Yeah, what's good, Doc? I'm looking forward to it. Definitely. Speaking of games in the future, North Carolina. Yeah, Chapel Hill has decided they will play North Carolina A&T in 2028.
Interesting.
Still working out the details. They're hoping to possibly make this a week 0 game if it meets qualifications by the NCAA.
Oh, yeah.
But they're looking.
They're gonna play the other school, the North Central too.
Good question. I hadn't heard anything about that yet, but
I want to be petty so bad. I want to be petty so bad, but I'm not gonna do it.
Why not?
A&T done had enough people talking about them being in the
colonizer.
Yeah, the
colonizer athletic association.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's the reason why they played A&T and not Central.
Stop. That's funny.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
Because one is a national champion. I mean, let me stop.
Yeah.
I mean, like LSU obviously played both in-state schools, right?
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, I just want to know why they just picked one. That's all I want to know.
They might try to play Central in 29.
I know one thing, they ain't trying to play them this year. If they played, Ooh, that would have been a great matchup this year with them two
Drake
quarterbacks.
May versus
That would have been
Davis Richard.
man.
Yeah.
That would have been a great matchup.
Yeah. Man, we should do I was watching. Dylan was watching YouTube, and this guy was using NCAA 14 in the game, and he was like spinning a wheel, and it would land on a team, any team, right? FBS or FCS, and then he would spin another dial that pointed in the direction, and wherever it landed is like he basically had the map of the U.S. and whatever school, and then what saying that the dial picked. Whatever direction landed, it would play that team, and then you would try to see which team would end up conquering the United States and stuff. So I would look. Yeah, I know it's weird. It sounds weird, but I would love to do something like that, like set up matchups between some HBCUs versus either some FCS or some G5 schools, and
I'd be cool with that.
Trying to figure out, which teams, which matchups would make more sense. Or
like I'd love to see South Carolina State versus Coastal Carolina. Central versus App State.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some along the line. Tennessee State versus Middle Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Something along them kind of lines. Yeah. Texas Southern versus Rice.
I love to see FAMU versus. Oh, they actually play FIU this year.
Yeah, games like that would be dope.
Yeah. So I definitely love to see that.
Alabama A&M versus UAB.
We've seen that. They did that one last year. That one. UAB ran away with that one, unfortunately. But I wouldn't mind seeing Alabama A&M versus like
South Alabama.
Don't do me like that. Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State.
Yeah. What about North Alabama?
Yeah. They probably could take North Alabama. North Alabama is they're pretty good, but I think they could, they got a really good chance. But man, let's take a brief break for our sponsors. And we are back. Man, let's look at I got a couple more things, man, talk about before we get ready to get up out of here. FAMU, as we know, the women's basketball team, previous head coach, she stepped down. I think it was right before media day. They now have their new head woman, Miss Bridget Gordon, is now the head basketball coach of the FAMU Lady Rattlers. She has accepted the position and will be stepping in soon. Try to see if I can get some info. I know she's coming from let's see some of the schools she's coached. She, as a player, she played for the Sacramento Monarchs. Let's see who else she.
Rest in peace to the Monarchs.
Yeah, I know. In college, she actually played for Pat Summitt at Tennessee. As a coach, she was assistant at Stetson. She was assistant at Georgia State, Wichita State, Tennessee, SMU, Cincinnati, New Mexico State, and now she is the head coach at FAMU.
Sounds like a great hire by AD Sykes.
Yes, it is. She also has a gold medal with the Olympic team in the 1988 Seoul Olympic. That's Seoul, not Seoul.
Seoul, Korea.
Seoul, Korea. Yeah. She also has a bronze medal in the Pan American Games in '91 in Havana.
Say that again. There was such thing as a Seoul Olympics.
They're gonna have it in Montgomery. Oh man, swimming is the first competition.
And then the next competition will be hand throwing.
Oh yeah, hand. There you go. You got to swim and then you got to throw hands. That's the whole Olympics. So for the soul,
the triathlon.
Oh man. Also, while we're on the subject of basketball, congratulations go out to Coach Tamika Reed of Jackson State. She has been selected as a member of the NCAA's D1's Women's Basketball Oversight Committee.
Major accomplishment.
Major. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, Coach Reed. She never ceased to amaze me. You know, she's always doing something. Yeah, but I guess I can go two ways with this. I'm gonna stick with Jackson State though. Jackson State is bringing back their golf program. And from my understanding, the golf program that they had prior to ending it, I don't know exactly when they ended it. But hold on, let's see. I think it was 2011. Oh, what okay. Okay, they suspended in 2017. I'm sorry. So, but the golf program has let's see, it was under who is this? Coach Eddie Payton. Coach Eddie Payton. He won over 30 championships.
I wonder if he related to Walter Payton.
That's a good question.
At Jackson State, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Said Coach Payton had
30 championships.
He had 14 women's SWAC titles and 25 men's SWAC titles, including 23 straight from 1989 to 2011.
That's dominance.
Bruh. he retired in 2016. So, you know what I'm saying? Naturally, they kind of, yeah.
He was the program, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
amazing.
Yeah, that's some history. I did not know that.
That's a stat you'll never hear again. 23 straight
conference championships.
That's ridiculous.
I don't care what sport it is.
That's ridiculous.
That is good. That is damn good. That is really
I mean,
good.
you could be the only team in the conference playing the sport and you won't win it 23 times, bro. Like,
wow, I'm saying
that's wild, bro.
Yeah. Very dominant history. But yeah, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Kudos to them to bringing it back. That actually brings Jackson State to 18 athletic programs. It's, if you notice, I don't know if y'all noticing the theme. It's a lot of HBCUs adding different sports programs and increasing those numbers. Sounds like something Dr. McClellan was talking about last year about eventually moving on up.
Yeah. But I think it might not be the way he envisioned.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, so piece by piece, man, it look like it's coming together. Kudos also goes out to Alabama State's Dr. Quentin T. Ross. He was named to the Committee on Women's Athletics. This committee has been put together to kind of look at ways to improve athletics for women, different things, and I guess it's kind of sharing knowledge or whatever. But kudos to him. Anytime you get appointments like that, it's definitely big ups. You know, that's recognition for not just your school, but you know, some HBCUs as a whole, the conference and HBCUs as a whole. So congratulations to him. And then Alabama State's cheerleaders and their cheerleading team, they get a bid, they won or earned a bid to nationals. So
congratulations.
Yeah. That's one thing I will say, you will never catch me talking bad about cheerleaders. That's hard work. Lotto. Speaking of hard work, I got something for you, Ant. You know how people, you know what I'm saying, you go to college, you know, the thing is, hey, you go to college, get this oh, Nowhere Bird said FAMU too. FAMU got a bid. That's dope. I have not seen that.
Congratulations to them.
But that's dope. I love to see it. I love to see. I hope both of those teams are able to make some noise. Finish in the top 10, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works with the cheerleading competition thing. But back to what I was saying, you know how you go to college and then, you know what I'm saying, talk about you interning somewhere, you know what I'm saying, building yourself up and getting a job like after that. Yeah. Well, Miss Destiny Martin over at Winston-Salem University, she did things a little different. She was a cheerleader at Winston-Salem University just a few months ago. But now she has been named the head coach of the Elizabeth City State University cheerleading program.
Wow.
Yes. This story comes from HBCU Game Day. And it reads, the 23-year-old Chesapeake, Virginia native will oversee the daily business operations of the athletic department.
That's major, bro.
Bruh, she is the cheerleading coach and also in the role of the business manager for the Department of Athletics. She's currently completing her master's degree in business administration at Winston-Salem University. After she graduated with her bachelor's degree from the institution in 2022. Wow.
And here I am.
Underachieved much?
Do you hear me?
Wow.
That's crazy. Congratulations, young lady.
Yes.
Major kudos to you for that. Wow, that's crazy. One more thing before we wrap up.
I got another one too. Go ahead.
Southern announced their honorees for the 2023 inaugural gala. A gala, however you say that. Coach Pete Richardson,
okay,
Coach Nathaniel Deneau, and Coach Roger Kador were all the honorees for this year. So congratulations to them.
Man, that's dope, man. Big shout outs. Congratulations to them. Appreciate it. Norwood Bird put in there in the chat. Y'all should be able to click on it. But I think it's just the Twitter talking about the cheerleading team. Hold on, I'm gonna have to find that. Let's see what this get here and see what this is.
Yeah, they got first place in routine and a bid to nationals.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. If FAMU can if they
It's
can
in
get
Daytona too.
In Bethune backyard. If FAMU can win the Orange Blossom Classic, they might be able to establish them a nice little
That's a big if, sir.
Yeah, they might be able to establish a little golden era, you know what I'm saying, with you gotta think about it, they just won in SWAC and baseball.
They did.
You know, the volleyball team, if I'm not mistaken, won the SWAC.
They didn't win it in basketball though.
They didn't win in basketball, but they won in volleyball.
But just because they win the Orange Blossom don't mean they're gonna win the SWAC though.
It don't mean they're gonna win the SWAC. I'm saying, but that's right now. That seems, I ain't gonna say that's their biggest test. Truth be told,
whoever in the West,
huh?
They still gotta play whoever coming out the West.
You're right.
Let's not count the chickens before they hatch.
I'm starting to feel, and maybe it's a little regional bias for me. I'm starting to feel them Bulldogs.
It's definitely regional bias, baby.
I'm starting to feel them Bulldogs a little bit, and I think they're gonna make some noise.
We're gonna see. See.
And that game is at. But anyway, I ain't gonna go there.
I mean,
anything can happen. I'm just saying.
Anything can happen, and you got to bring your A game every week because it ain't too much. It ain't no just dominant team this year. I don't think
You're right.
FAMU is obviously the projected favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that they're miles ahead of people like Jackson State.
We
was
never
the
really
last couple
talked
of years.
about that much either. Is that by default?
It's one of them being first,
Them
being the
being the
favorite.
favorites.
Out the East, I think it's because they were the second best team behind Jackson State, and Jackson State lost a lot, and so everybody just defaultly put them as, like you said, default put them.
Yeah.
I mean, they returned their quarterback, which is a big plus. But if you look at what they lost a lot. They did get a lot in the portal too, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't always pan out. So I think it kind of is by default, and it's kind of like we don't really know about a lot of other teams in the East who Alabama A&M's quarterback situation, DD and his injury history. What's he gonna look like? Bethune has question marks. Jackson State got plenty of question marks. Like there's so many question marks for every other school in the East. FAMU has question marks, but they don't have as many.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of what it was. Appreciate that, William.
William says, Coach Richardson cared about every player and got to know your family. Played for him at Winston-Salem State University with Southern University defensive coach Terrence Graves. Great show. North Carolina is rocking with you. Hey, we appreciate that.
Appreciate that, brother.
Definitely appreciate that.
But yeah, I think it's just default.
Yeah.
And in the West, I think it's too close to call. That's why you see so many different teams being picked as the team to come out the West.
So I don't know what's going to happen with this whole rap gate. I guess you can say, but the video.
Apologize.
He pulled a video down too on
Yeah.
YouTube. So
kudos to him for that.
Yeah, definitely. Saying it's good to admit. Saying I'm not gonna say what he did was wrong. He's just rapping.
Yeah,
but he did. I think he went about it in the wrong way. And he realized.
Bingo. And kudos to him for kind of reading the room and realizing that you're doing more damage than good with this video. So just go ahead and pull it and try not to completely sever the relationship between you and the university, and kind of just use this as a learning tool for next time and go. Because obviously he seems to be a big fan of the school, and he kind of seemed to not want to negatively affect the school image wise. So I feel like he really did try to do what was best for them by pulling the video, and I think that deserves some kudos, because not too many rappers would probably care or would do the same thing if they was in his shoes.
Yeah, agreed. I'm not saying that it's strictly because of Alabama A&M. But I think what Alabama A&M did with the and this is I probably segue with this one kind of bad, but what Alabama A&M did with the task force seems to be starting to catch on a little bit. Allen University, they've announced that they're going to put a commission together to improve game day experience. They recently announced a land deal. They're going to get their own home stadium. And so they're now kind of, I guess, doing an exploratory committee to find different ways to improve game day experiences for their fans to make it the best experience for Yellow Jacket fans. I think that's exactly how it reads, something like that. But it reads, we are elated to implement this initiative that will better enable our campus community, fan base, and students to provide meaningful feedback regarding their game day experiences. Our goal with the commission is to create a new dialogue that provides real-time feedback and suggestions to improve the game day experience for all our sporting events whenever necessary. That came from the athletic director, Mr. Jasher Cox.
Man, I think it says a lot that these schools are actually considering what they need to improve to help the fans get a better, get a better experience at the game. So I think it's kind of a trend you'll start to see catch on with a lot of schools, especially if they start seeing increased attendance rates at some of these other schools who have initiated some of these things.
Yeah. I know we think you're to get up out of here. Coach Green them over at Russ, they stealing coaches. They just got former Edward Waters University coach as their new head coach over at Russ. So congratulations him. Well, I don't know if he was a coach, and it says former Edward Water Tiger. So I'm gonna guess he was a coach at least. But anyway, man, that's all I got, man. Before we get up out of here, man, we got some work to do as far as picking out these games so we can make the list.
This dude here.
Oh man. Yeah, get ready to make this list. Make a list for y'all so y'all can be mad. I don't care. All right, man. You got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right.
I think that's
it.
Chuckopedia up in here dropping some more facts.
What Chuck talked about. Chuck says, I remember those Winston-Salem State football teams in the late 80s, watching you all play on BET with Charlie Neal and Lynn Barney doing those games.
Oh, Chuck. Appreciate you for tuning in, my boy.
Chuck always got one for us. All right, man. Let's get up out of here, man. We'll be back on Thursday, man. Like that. We're out.
This show was presented by betonline.ag.
Bring me my money.